Today I'm going to be sharing with you a detailed list of documents that you need to put in your visa application. I'm going to be listing them one after the other and explaining to you what these documents are about, how to get these documents. And if this is kind of video that you're interested in, please do not leave. Please watch till the very end, and I hope that you come back to watch more of my videos.
Walk out the door in my little black dress. Been a long day and I need to de-stress. Sunsets.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lovely, and if this is your first time seeing my face, and if you're a returning subscriber, I love you so much. Thank you back. Yeah, I say thank you back. Thank you so much for coming back. And if you're a new subscriber, where have you been? It's so good to have you here. Thank you. And to my old viewers, you guys, please subscribe. To my new viewers, please, you know the drill. Hit the subscribe button and also turn on your notification bell so that you'll be the first person to get notified when I post a new video. Now let's get straight into today's video. So like I said, I'm going to be sharing with you a detailed list of documents that you need for your study visa application in Canada. So just in case you see me looking down, it's because I have them listed out in this book here, and I'm going to be reading them out from the book. So first thing first that you need is your international passport. Of course, you want to leave the country and you don't have a passport, like even before you can get to the stage of applying for your visa, you're going to need your passport to even apply for admission, because some schools require that you put your passport number when you're applying for your admission. So you're going to need your international passport, and your passport needs to be like 6 months validity. But I would recommend that you have like a year validity, because the process of waiting to get a feedback after you put in your visa application might take 1 to 5 months. You never can tell. So if your passport is just 6 months valid, imagine that you've waited for like how many months, and then when it finally gets back, you only have like 1 month left on your passport. So the amount of months or years that you have left on your passport is going to determine what is going to be stamped on your passport when you send your passport in for stamping. Say for example, you are going for a 2-year course and your passport is just has 1 year validity left. There's a probability that when your passport is being stamped, it will not be stamped like for the 2 years that you are going in for. It will only be stamped for the duration which your passport is valid for, which is just the 1 year. So it's advisable that you have at least, they would say 6 months, but I would say at least make sure your passport still has 1 year validity before you put in your application. Moving on to the next thing on the list, this is your letter of acceptance. Your letter of acceptance is different from your letter of admission or your admission letter. Letter of acceptance is what you are given by the school after you've made the requested deposit, because most schools will require that you make a particular deposit after they've offered you admission before you get your letter of acceptance. So you'll be needing your letter of acceptance, because even when you get your letter of admission or admission letter, it's always written on it boldly, not for visa purposes. Like you cannot use it to apply for visa. Admission letter is just them telling you that they've offered you admission. You need to pay the deposit that is required by the school, or even more than the deposit if you have the money, for you to be able to have your letter of acceptance. So the next thing on my list is your proof of funds. So proof of fund is basically your bank statements or your sponsor's bank statements. You're going to be needing your bank statements for the last 6 months, nothing less than the last 6 months. You would need to show that, oh, you've been banking with that particular bank for, I think, over a year or 2 years, I'm not sure, but you need to just prove that. You just need to show your bank statement of over 6 months. There needs to have been like in and out from that particular bank, like not just credits, but there has been like several transactions in that bank account. And in showing your proof of funds, you need to avoid like a lump sum in your account. If there's a lump sum in your account, you need to be able to explain to your visa officer why there's a lump sum. Maybe you sold a car, maybe you sold a landed property, maybe somebody dashed you the money. You just need to be able to prove why there's a lump sum in case there's a lump sum in your account. So you'll be needing a bank statement to show your proof of fund. Bank statements can be gotten from your bank. Just walk into your bank and let them know that you need your bank statement for the last 6 months. And some banks actually offer, like some banks actually on their bank app, you can get your bank statement signed. Like I know for Access Bank, I don't know for any other bank, but for Access Bank, you can print out, you can actually use your bank app to get your signed bank statement, because your bank statement needs to be signed. So you can get a signed bank statement using your bank app. I don't know for any other bank, but I know for Access Bank. Another document that you can get from the bank is your My Bank Statement. This is what this document is called. It's called My Bank Statement. And it can be very funny, because I remember the first time I wanted to get my bank statement, and I went to, I think it was First Bank, because then my parents were my sponsor. So I followed my mom to First Bank to request my mom had gone initially, and then she asked for my bank statement, and they only gave her bank statements. And then I told her that I wanted my bank statement, so I had to follow her to explain to them that there's another one called my bank statement. So that one is basically like an e-statement thing, because it's not going to like have all your bank transactions. It's just one sheet, and on that sheet there's like a password on it. So I'm going to look for a picture to like insert to show what it looks like, just in case you like need to go to the bank and you need to explain. I know, but it's called My Bank Statement. It's like an e-statement, like I said, and it has a pin on it. Another document that you'll be needing from your bank is a reference letter from your bank. It's very simple. When you get to the bank, they will just give you like a paper to write a letter to the branch manager requesting for a reference letter from the bank. It's just basically the bank telling the visa officer that you've been banking with them from so dates up till now, and your bank has been in good, and your account has been in good shape ever since you've been banking with them. Basically, that's all. It's nothing deep. So another thing you'll be needing is your passport photograph. So your passport photograph, there's a particular requirement for what your passport photograph is supposed to look like. You're supposed to have like a background picture, a white bag. So you're supposed to have like a white background, your head to shoulder shot. I'm going to put the link to where you can see a detailed description of what your passport photograph should look like, so you can go with that description. And I'm also very much aware that when you go to some photo studio, once you tell them that, oh, you're taking this passport for visa application, they know what the passport should look like and how it should be taken. So most of them are very aware. If you are going to like a professional photo studio to snap your passport, they definitely know what the passport should look like. And if they don't, you can just, go to the link that I'll be posting in my description to show them what you want the passport to look like and what the passport description is. Next you'll be needing is your police clearance certificate. This is like a record from a statement from the police, or a certificate from the police declaring your criminal records, whether you are free from crime, or maybe if you've committed any crime before or anything, just to like know what your criminal record is in your country. And this can be gotten from any police station nearby. Basically in Nigeria, it's usually gotten from Lagos, but you can apply from the closest police station next to you. All you have to do is just go there, fill in some documents, do some fingerprint and all of that, and they would be the one to proceed taking it to Lagos to getting it, and they will definitely let you know when to come back. Maybe it's going to take like 2 weeks. They'll just give you a date to come back and pick up. If you're not staying in Lagos, you don't have to go all the way to Lagos to get it, except you need it urgently and you want it very fast. If not, just look for the closest police station next to you, go there, apply, and they will let you know when to come back to pick up your certificate. It's actually not free. I don't know how much they charge for it. I think it varies depending on where you stay, and depending on how fast you want it, and the way we do things in Nigeria. If you're ready to pay your way and to get it fast, you can pay for it and get it pretty fast and all. So yes, the next thing you'll be needing is English test proficiency, like your IELTS, which is not exactly compulsory if you come from an English speaking country. It's actually not compulsory. But if you come from a country where it's not an English speaking country, then you would need to take this English exam to prove that you understand English and can communicate in English effectively. Next on my list is your letter of study, which is also known as your statement of purpose. In my previous video, I spoke extensively on how to write your statement of purpose. I'm going to link it up here. I'm not sure. I'm just going to link it somewhere up there for you to go back and watch it. In that video, I also included a free PDF template for you to follow as a guide in helping you write your letter of study. I'm sure you'll find the video very helpful. You're welcome. Next on my list is your letter of support. If by chance you're being sponsored by your parents, or your spouse is also going to be supporting in sponsoring you, you would need a letter of study from your parents or your spouse. Also, you can also get like an affidavit of support. This can be gotten from the courts, and all you have to do is just go to the court and do some paperwork and get it stamped and signed. But if not, in my own case, I only used the letter of study. I didn't have to go to the court, but just to be on the safe side and have all your documents, all gelled together, you might want to go as far as getting affidavits of support. And if you're going to be writing a letter of support, it's just something simple. Just a page is enough, or max 2 pages. Basically, it's just your co-sponsor talking about their relationship with you. Maybe they're your parents, your father, your mother, or your husband. Just them talking about their relationship with you, what they do, where they live, how long they've known you, like just to put in good words for you, say how much they'll be supporting you with, because definitely as your sponsor or co-sponsor, they will be also dropping their bank statements. They can also say how much they are supporting you with, and things that they do back home that is their source of income, and how they would definitely still be able to take care of themselves or their family or every other person back home even after they've sponsored you and all of that. It's just basically them saying, oh, simple things. For your sponsors, you would also want to add other documents about your sponsors, like where they currently work, maybe a letter of appointment from their place of work, maybe their last 2 promotion letter as well. And if they own a business, their certificate of business ownership. If they also have landed properties, they can also have their landed properties valued and put together. Just other documents that can easily represent your sponsor. And yeah, that's that. If by chance you'll be traveling to study based on scholarship, you would want to attach your letter of scholarship or letter of sponsorship from your school, and also to just show that, oh, you're coming in based on scholarship. And if you're coming in based on scholarship, obviously they will be the one funding you, so you have to also show that you've been funded by this school and you're coming to Canada based on scholarship. Next that I'll be listing, I know that back in Nigeria we like to do our traveling things hush. You don't want people to know, you don't want your workplace to know that you're leaving Nigeria soon. But I would say that if it's possible that maybe you have a top person up there in your work that you can talk to, and you believe that after you speak with this person it's not going to affect your work there and everything, I would recommend that you get a letter of introduction from your workplace, letter of introduction, and or maybe a recommendation letter, just to show that, oh, you've been working, especially if you're going for like a master's or a PhD or a postgraduate study. It's important that you get like a letter of recommendation or a letter of introduction from your, or a letter of introduction or a letter of recommendation from your current workplace, to just prove that you've been working with them, what you've been doing while you work with them, and you've been of a good support to the organization, things that you've contributed to the organization. Just basically all of that. Just basically your employer putting in words for you. And basically, I know that it might be tricky a bit because you're trying to do your things hush, but if it's possible, get it. And also, I would recommend that maybe from your previous employment history, from your previous employment, if it's possible to reach out to your previous employers to get a reference letter from them. It would also be very helpful if you can reach out to your previous employers to get a reference letter from them. This was supposed to be number 1 thing on my list, but I don't know how it's coming all the way down here. I don't even know what number this is again. But you're going to need your degree certificates, obviously, because you need that. And you also be needing your transcript as well. So make sure that you have your degree certificate and your transcripts. In the process of applying for your admission, if you have your student copy transcript, you can use that to apply for your admission. But I'm sure that most schools, I can say like most schools in Canada, after they've offered you the admission, they would require an official transcript from your school. So make sure that the moment you put in your application using your student copy transcript, you start making preparation to get your official transcript copy. We know the struggle of getting transcripts from Nigerian schools, especially public universities. Make sure you start preparing for that. Start looking for how to get your, start making preparations on how to get your official transcript as soon as possible. So if you are married, you also want to include your marriage certificate. It's very important to just, you cannot just write it there that you're married, but you also have to, like, you know, show proof that you're married and legally married to this person. And if by chance you're newly wedded and you feel like, oh, so that it doesn't look like, oh, you people just staged marriage, you might want to include pictures from your wedding ceremony, pictures of you and your spouse with people, pictures of you and your, not pictures, plenty picture, maybe just one or two pictures of you and your spouse with people showing in the background, so that, you know, it looks very real, that you had like an actual wedding and it wasn't just, oh, let's just do it. Like, yes, that. And if you're not married to this person, Canada gives you an opportunity to travel as common law partners, not like married couple, but like there's a process for common law partner. There are documents that they require for you to prove that you guys are common law partners. And I think I'm going to put a link to where you can read the list of documents that you can use to prove your partner as your common law partner as well. The next thing on my list is your medical report. So if by chance you get to do an upfront medical before you put in your application, you would want to include your e-medical. E-medical is that slip that you get from the medical center, whether Q Life or, I'm trying to remember the name of the other one, I cannot remember, the one that's on the mainland in Ikeja, or wherever you do that in your country. You want to include the e-medical. E-medical is the slip that was given to you by the IELTS organization where you did your medical. You want to attach that slip as well, though they will definitely, you know, notify IRCC of your medical examination, but you also want to include your e-medical slip alongside other documents as well. Next on my list is your resume. You just want to include your resume, just work history, basically your CV, resume, that's all. And the next thing on my list is your CAC. If you own a business back home, you want to include proper documents that shows that your business is registered back home. So there are other forms that are required of you to fill. These forms can be gotten from the IRCC website. I think one of it is the family form, and the second one is a form that you fill if you're applying for study visa outside of Canada. So family form is just a form where you fill in documents about your family members, just to, you know, just to list out how many you are, like just form filling, basically maybe things about your parents, your children, your spouse, or anything. Basically, just as it says, family form, things about your family. Basically, they will ask you the name of your parents, how old your parents are, I think their passport number as well. I think they would ask what they do. I'm going to put a link in my description where you can access the form as well. And yeah, for the family form, it's called IMM 5707. You can always get that form from the IRCC website. And for the forms that you fill for study visa application made outside of Canada, it's called IMM 1294 as well. And the last form that you have to fill, which is called like the documents checklist form, I think it's actually a compulsory form, because when you check like on the IRCC website, it's listed there like forms that are important for you to submit or fill. So it's actually listed there as well. It's called the document checklist form. It's just basically helping you checklist the documents that you submitted and be sure that you're not missing out on anything. The form is called IMM 5483. Yes, IMM 5483. I'm going to be posting a link to the IRCC website in my description, where you can go to the website and take your time to like go through the website and read properly and do your own research as well, because you cannot solely depend on the things that I'm saying, because I'm not a licensed immigration consultant, neither am I a licensed immigration lawyer. So you want to make sure that you do your own research as well. After all of these documents is gathered and ready, remember that you're also going to be paying your application fee and your biometric fee. So biometric is done after you've submitted your application. So after you've submitted your application, it might take like 24 hours for IRCC to send you your biometric correspondence, and you just have to print out a form and go to the VFS office. You have to go to I've forgotten what it's called. They have an office on the island where you go to go and do your basic biometric and all of that. Yes, and that's all the documents that you need. If by chance I'm missing any of these documents, please write it in the comment section. Let people also learn, because nobody's an island. And I hope that you find this video very helpful. Like I said, I'm going to be putting the link of important things that you know, and also add my letter of study video somewhere up there for you to watch and use the free templates that I added in that video. I hope that you learn one or two, and I hope that you give this video a very big thumbs up, because you liking my video helps my video go a very long way, and I would really appreciate that. Until I see you again, bye for now.